Greetings, witches. This is the next video in how to make your own scribble tarot deck. So what we're doing is we're starting with a plain Rider-Waite tarot deck that I just ordered on Amazon. It's an inexpensive one, so mark it up and have fun with it. Do whatever you like with it. It's not a big monetary investment. And you can make your own scribble deck. I'm going to show you how to do that. So today we're going to look at the suit of swords. Swords is of the air sign, which means of the air element, which is the signs of Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. It's about intellect, communication, conflict, decision-making, truths, clarity. It cuts through confusion. It's rational, intellectual, and let's do it. So what I like to do is just write one word that summarizes the card for me. I like to look in multiple places. I like to watch different readers. There's a website called Biddy Tarot, B-I-D-D-Y, that I love. And a bunch of readers on YouTube that I really enjoy watching. So I like to see how different readers interpret the cards. I also have a lot of books and that sort of thing about it. So use your intuition, do some research, and mark up the cards with a keyword or image or something that means something to you, that will trigger to you what the meaning of the card is. Now, if there's a symbol in the card that really means something to you and really pulls it together, circle it. Write what it means. Write what the image stands for. So aces are always something new. So ace is something new, and swords are intellect and truth. So it's a new truth, a new understanding, a new insight, a new clarity. I'm going to call it breakthrough. When you're doing card readings, you can, not have to go to your book and look it up till you really learn the cards in a deep way. So the 2 is about a difficult decision, a stalemate, weighing opposite viewpoints. She's got them crossed, so nothing's passing. You shall not pass. So you shall not pass card. So what we're going to say is stalemate. Oh, I covered the moon, but there is the moon there. A little crescent moon. Now the 3. This is one of the more visual cards. I mean, stabbed in the heart, 3 swords. It's about heartbreak, emotional pain, and sorrow. So we're just going to call it the heartbreak card. Because sometimes truth and intellect and knowledge might break your heart. Now the 4 is rest, contemplation, recovery, a mental pause, taking a time out, retreating, resting. It can mean a period of sickness, so we're just going to call it rest. When you just need to take some time and kind of isolate and deal with life. Make decisions, whatever you need to do. It's retreat. Now the 5 is about conflict, betrayal, winning at a high cost. Sometimes the way I look at this card often is they're walking away and laying down their swords because the price of winning is too high. So sometimes when the price of winning is too high, you lay down your weapon and you walk away because the cost of the loss is not as high as the cost of winning. It's about trying to win at all costs. So to summarize that, we're just going to call it conflict. But they've laid down their swords. But he already has 3. So he's already won against 2 others. They're just going to walk away. So it's not just about conflict. It's about walking away from conflict also. Now, number 6 is moving on from troubled waters. You can see he's looking off in the distance. He's steering off into the distance. He's not alone. Here the waters are choppy and they're moving on to clearer path, clearer waters. So it's about transition, moving forward, leaving the past behind, leaving your troubles behind, going from rough times into smooth times. So we are going to call this transition. Yeah, the most important part is the clear waters and the choppy waters. Number 7 is about deception, strategy, acting, and self-interest. I call this the taking the money and run card. Take the money and run. He's sneaking away. There's obviously people stationed here, a little war village, a town, and he's sneaking out the back with an armful of swords. So he's taking a lot more than he's leaving behind. He's taking as much as he can carry, and he's sneaking off out the back door. So that's what I call it, the take the money and run card. So to summarize that, we're going to call it deception. It could mean you're deceiving yourself. It could mean you're deceiving others. It could mean others are deceiving you. It's generally a warning card. Now, number 8 is about feeling restricted, trapped by our own thought. Because she's tied up and she's surrounded by swords. But if you look closely, she's not tied tightly. Her hands are behind her, but it doesn't show them as being bound. So she could wiggle out of these and undo her blindfold, and she could easily pass through those swords. So she might feel like she's trapped, and there's a castle in the background, so she may feel like she's away from home, but really she could undo herself and walk away. So it's about being feeling trapped, feeling constricted by intellect, by knowledge, by overthinking. So the 8 of Swords, we call that restriction. But often it's only a perceived restriction or self-restriction. And it's not necessarily real external restriction, somebody doing it to us. Now the 9 of Swords, whew, up at night with these swords hanging over your head, holding your face, just in pain. This is about anxiety, worry, fear, nightmares, insomnia, what is on your mind in the dead of night. It's about facing what's real. So these aren't necessarily real fears, real things to be afraid of. It's your thoughts. So this card is anxiety. What keeps you up in the dead of night? Now, number 10. So being stabbed in the back with 10 swords is a pretty visceral image. We've got rock bottom, a painful ending. It's about ruin, death, and destruction. Let's call it ruin. ruin, death, and destruction, a brutal ending, being betrayed. Basically, if everything came true from here, that's what you would get. If all your anxieties came true, and it was the end of you. So the pages are the students of the tarot. They're always trying to learn something, find something out. It's being curious, analytical, a vigilant mindset, need to learn and gather information. So we're going to call him curiosity, like intellectual curiosity. The kind that make you dive deep into something and try to discover something new, trying to learn something new. Just that drive for knowledge. Now the knights are the teenagers, and they're always about action. They're always on a horse. They're always moving. Stuff's happening. He is an intense energy. He's full of speed, focus, intellectual conviction. He's rushing into action to defend an idea or truth. This is like the young person who is just so sure of themselves, so sure of what they know to be true and what they believe, and you can't tell them otherwise. They're just gonna go for it. We'll call this action. It's being so sure in your conviction. Intellectual conviction, because it's swords. Now the queens are always the internal, and the kings are the external. So internal knowledge, independence, clear-headed, unbiased. They cut through the emotional confusion and sets clear, valid boundaries, validating truth over emotions. So she internalizes that knowledge and truth of the swords. I'm going to call her perception, because her perception is good. She internalizes that truth and perceives it correctly. Now the King of Swords is the external knowledge, external intellect, external truth. This is about authority, intellectual power, ethical decisions, mature structural appreciation of law, fairness, logic, strategy, absolute truth. They can be the courts. They can be anything that digs to find the truth on the outside versus the inside. So we're going to call this authority. So yeah, mark up your cards however you like and have fun with it. Make your own scribble tarot. Scribble whatever you want. If you want to write, I tried to summarize things in one word, but write it all. Write, absolute truth, authority, ethical decisions. He can represent the court sometimes. So yeah, have a great day, witches, and have fun making your own scribble tarot.